Yes, my Straight Talk family, whatever the mind conceives, that you will achieve. And I know that it is time for me to extend greetings to the world, because we are on the World Wide Web and we are reaching and communicating with you from right here in the beautiful paradise of two lovely islands, and one paradise, St. Kitts and Nevis. So let me say a very pleasant night to St. Kitts and Nevis, and a very pleasant night to the entire Caribbean region. Our hearts are with our brothers and sisters in Jamaica. Trust that things will go well. And to the Kittitians and divisions and our Caribbean brothers and sisters in the diaspora, I say greetings and welcome all to another edition of Straight Talk. I know some of you are in Africa, there's some of you in Asia, there's some of you in Europe, and there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I will say good afternoon, and I will say good morning, because one of such greetings will be applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. So welcome all to Straight Talk, and thank all of you who continue to share the link. And when you do so, we have first-timers. And for the first timers, may I inform you that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. You do have a forum to express yourselves freely. And on this program, we try to raise the level of national, regional, and international consciousness. We try to raise the level of national, regional, and international discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I give Almighty God thanks for blessing me with yet another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And as your host, I will continue to pledge to remain an untiring advocate for truthfulness, because we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right. We stand firm for godly justice, and we bring all those evil things to light. That's an excerpt from a favorite hymn of mine, my Straight Talk family. And we ensure we seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we may all know the blessing of doing or the doing of God's will. So my Straight Talk family, on this program, I can assure you that absolutely nothing is watered down to make it more interesting, and neither by omission or by exaggeration. We are not about sensationalism. We are not about entertainment, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts. Because believe me, it is my bounden duty to present what I call the unvarnished truth, the plain truth, and especially when it comes to governance, integrity, accountability, in St. Kitts and Nevis and wherever you are in the globe or on the globe. Because this program brings us together with people across the Federation. We are brought together and joined with people in the diaspora around the world. Some we know, some we do not know, have never met, and may never meet physically. We meet quite a lot of you spiritually. And some will agree, and some will disagree. And that's understandable, because we are a different people. And we entertain what I call diverse views. But please, do not ever disappoint me and ever start to become disagreeable. In the meanwhile, let's thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for that day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome again, my people, and thanks one more time for those who share the link as you bring us first-timers. Please continue to do so. I must always remind you, especially the first-timers, that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean we entertain your calls, we include your emails, and if you're so minded calling, the numbers are on your screens. And if you are like the ones who don't want to be heard, who like what I call the cloak of anonymity, we give you access via our email platform, and that too is on your screens. That address, I should say. Straight Talk is also heard live on Alexa. I know that Alexa was standing by for me tonight. My brother Massive, we thank him for providing that access at a nominal cost. So those who have that access to Alexa, just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. And some of you, as I mentioned, of course, have made donations to support our efforts, and we say thank you. I must reassure you that no matter what the level or size of your contribution, please don't stop, because it helps to continue this very important service, a public service I call it. And others who wish to donate can simply scan the code on your screens. Very simple process. Takes you an inordinate small amount of time. Just follow the instructions. It's highly confidential. So thank you again for your support and for helping us to keep the dialogue alive. And I must say a special welcome to the Junior Straight Talk Junior Brigade. Jasmine, young Dwayne Tristan, Shamar Kevin, young Rue, Jamal, Travis Chavon, Neema, my grandson, and Saraya. Elizabeth is someone new. I spoke to that special lady who had a special day yesterday. Hope you have recovered from your escapade. I can't tell anybody where. But we normally move to our observations in review, which is that moment in time when we highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We ask a few questions. What was accomplished? How it helped others? And what has changed since? And what new we have learned as a people, my Straight Talk family. And after our observations, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled, What a Big Difference a Good Government Makes. Yes. What a big difference a good government makes. And for my first observation, I must tell you, I was scrolling through Facebook earlier today, and I came across two messages that caught my attention. And both messages were posted 1 year apart by Senior Minister Denzel Douglas in 24 and 25 respectively. And you can see them on your monitors there, my Straight Talk family, on your screens. And he congratulates the harbor pilot in 2024. According to Douglas, he confidently and expertly guided the world's largest cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas, to our pier at Port Zante on Tuesday, 30th January. He said the whole world was watching. It was indeed a moment of joy and pride for all Kititians and Nevisians. And thousands around the world celebrate with us, especially his fellow harbor pilots across the Caribbean. And 1 year after, 1 year and months to be exact, the senior minister posts a few days ago another Facebook message, this time in reference to the inaugural call of the Star of the Seas to Port Zante, that second cruise pier, the largest cruise ship afloat. And he went on that Casper plays an important role and must be commended for this large cruise ship to our shores safely. But Denzel Douglas has a very short memory. Conveniently, I should add. But Team Unity did in 3 years led by yours truly what Denzel Douglas and his Labour Party, Labour administration, failed to do in 20 years. That is to construct a second cruise pier. Recall in 2013, my Straight Dog family, some marine barges were here in St. Kitts, but disappeared without a trace one night. But before that, then CEO of Casper, Jonathan Bass, gave an overview in 2013 of plans for a new cruise pier at a business breakfast meeting at the Ocean Terrace Inn. And I remember Jonathan said this to the country and to the world.
The essence of the agreement is that Cashman Incorporated will establish in St. Kitts and Nevis a company called Cruise Port Development Limited that will construct the new pier. The construction cost of the pier and upland works will be in the region of US 31 million. Cruise Port Development Limited will be responsible for raising all of the financing required to construct the pier. Casper will not be responsible for financing any portion of this amount. Casper will obtain the riparian and seabed rights from the Urban Development Corporation for the area where the pier will be built and grant a 30-year lease to Cruise Port Development Limited to construct the pier. Casper will have no financial obligation with respect to the construction of the new pier other than to collect head taxes from passengers, deposit these amounts in accounts, and payment will be made to both the developer and Casper in accordance with the revenue sharing arrangement. It is worth mentioning that under this project development agreement, the existing pier at Port Zante will remain under the full ownership of Casper.
And yes, my Straight Talk family, those were the plans outlined by former CEO of Casper, Jonathan Bass. But host of the breakfast, then Minister of Tourism and Minister with responsibility for the ports, Richard Ricky Skerritt, spoke about what he called legal shenanigans. Ricky told the country this, my Straight Dog family.
This is a project that has been undergoing significant discussion and negotiation for a very long time, for several months, and a certain timetable had been set, which included a signing for today. As I speak right now, the parties are upstairs, still going through some of the legal shenanigans. That is how lawyers work. None of us in here can control that, and unfortunately, there have been significant delays this morning in terms of fine-tuning and making sure that everybody's comfortable. I cannot guarantee that those experts in the law will all come to the same page at the same time by the time we finish this breakfast. I just wanted to alert you that the fact that the Prime Minister is here, the fact that I am here, the fact that all of you are here is a very positive development. And even if the signatures do not get put on the actual agreement this morning, nothing will stop this project from going forward.
That's what he said. Nothing would stop this project from going forward. But the badges disappeared that same night, embarrassing the Douglas Labour administration and his entire cabinet. So it was something of, is it retribution is the right term? I'm trying to find a term. But Douglas tried every dirty political trick to stop this project going forward on the team unity, including writing a letter to the Canadian Commercial Corporation, the CCC, accusing me and my son of being likely to benefit commercially. And if you read the letter, my Straight Dog family, you know we always provide the evidence. Douglas, in July of 2017, wrote to Martin Zablocki of the CCC. Dear sir, he writes in his first paragraph, I wish to write you in my capacity as leader of the opposition in the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as the leader of the St. Kitts and Nevis Labour Party. For your information, I have been a sitting member of Parliament for 28 years, and I served as Prime Minister of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis for nearly 20 years, from 1995 to 2015. Fast track and go to paragraph 6, my Straight Dog family. And there he accuses me and my son, may he rest in peace, of being likely to benefit commercially from the pill. But when that did not work, my Straight Dog family, it did not work because he stood on no legs, just fake, false news, peddling false news to try to halt the funding for the pier. But when that did not work, obviously, he embarked upon false rumors. The pier spoiled, he said. The pier spoiled, he told everyone. And believe me, some people believed that the pier spoiled when Douglas said this.
Mr. Speaker, we want to know what is happening with this second cruise pier. We want to know what is it that has gone wrong. Could not be what it is that we envisaged it to be when you can't use it. And one questions why a monumental project like this must end up the way it is. That is the question. $160 million and it's spoiled. That's a lot of money to spoil. Mr. Speaker, that's a lot of money to spoil. What is it, Mr. Speaker, that has gone wrong here? Why we are having this situation? A whole pier build, $160 million spent, and you still can't use the pier. The pier spoiled, they say.
And that was a fabrication of then leader of the opposition, Denzel Llewellyn Douglas. The pier spoiled. He said a big stone was at the bottom. But today, he's eating humble pie and celebrating. Look at the facility today, endorsed by every single captain that come to St. Kitts and goes alongside. The first one was the captain of the Celebrity Summit who said this.
Your ship is one of two ships that are the first to dock at our second cruise pier. How do you feel coming to St. Kitts to such a warm welcome?
It is very nice. The new pier is very wide and it is much better actually than the previous one. And it's a very nice construction, and for us from the marine side of view, you have enough fenders, enough bollards, nice and safe, with much better angle against the wind also. So congratulations, this is amazing.
So yes, my Straight Dog family, that's the first captain that used the pier. And the chief pilot, Ludel Harvey, is now fully on board with his praises, my Straight Dog family. And he said this just a few days ago.
One of these ships is coming out each year. So Icon was the first Icon class ship. This is the second Icon class ship. I think Legend is the next one, and so on. One of the good things about this is that we as a small country show the world that we can handle these ships. We can accommodate them safely alongside, good depth of water, everything that there is.
Good depth of water, everything there is. So my Straight Talk family, this is one legacy of the Team Unity Administration, that second cruise pier, that can accommodate two Oasis class ships simultaneously, and only one of 3 ports in the Caribbean, here at St. Kitts, that can accommodate those sides, or that size of ships, I should say. And that's my observation for tonight, my Straight Dog family. And as time progresses quickly, I move right into my thesis that I said a few moments ago. I have titled, "What a Big Difference a Government Makes." And my Straight Talk family, as we stand at this critical juncture in our federation's journey, I am reminded, yes, of the timeless words of the former US President Abraham Lincoln, who said that, and I quote, "The legitimate object of government is to do for a community of people whatever they need to have done, but cannot do at all, or cannot so well do for themselves, in their separate and individual capacities." And how true those words ring today. Because when we reflect on our recent past, on the years of the Team Unity Administration, it becomes clear to most objective minds what a big difference a good government makes. And a good government is one that is accountable, transparent, and responsive. A good government is one that ensures the rule of law, fair participation, and effective and efficient use of its resources. Key characteristics include eliminating corruption, respecting minority views, and being inclusive, equitable, and consensus-oriented, while also providing the services that guarantee, I should say, basic human rights. And no matter what misinformation is peddled by those presently in office, an honest reflection on the past will highlight the many achievements of Team Unity. For 7 years, to wit, 2015 to 2022, our country was guided by a vision of progress, unity, and shared prosperity. Team Unity was a government that worked for the people. It built not only infrastructure, but trust and confidence in governance. And things went wrong, we must admit. But to err is human, some may add. But it is imperative to note that in 2015, the Team Unity administration inherited an IMF debt of over $100 million, which was paid off in April of 2016. Recall that in 2011, the IMF approved a 3-year standby arrangement, a 3-year SPA, for about $84.5 million US dollars, I should add, with St. Kitts. On the Team Unity, we witnessed, like I said, the construction of the second cruise pier. And not for $160 million. The second cruise pier at $43 million investment, just over $100 million, that now welcomes the largest ships in the world. I mentioned earlier that just days ago, the Star of the Seas, my Stray Dog family, docked there, a testament, a clear testament, I may add, of sound planning. The Star of the Seas alongside that cruise pier. We witnessed as well, my Stray Dog family, the completion of the Old Road Bay Rehabilitation Project, which brought safety and resilience to the thousands of daily commuters. We saw social programs that lifted families out of poverty, like the Poverty Alleviation Program, housing projects that gave hope to the working class, and financial discipline that kept our economy strong, even through challenging times. The entire Island Main Road was resurfaced. The Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport, its runway was resurfaced, the entire runway. Brand new solar lighting, runway lighting was installed at the airport. And all 3 taxiways, Alpha, Bravo, they were all repaired. Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, I should say. And my Stray Dog family, the apron parking was half complete, 50% complete. Then COVID hit us. And we know what we went through COVID. Through COVID, those who lost their jobs got subsidies. Those in the hotel sector, those in the transportation sector. And my Stray Dog family, that was governance in action. That was leadership for the people. But think about the present. Since the installation of this new administration, we've seen a troubling decline. Today, my friends, the story is different. The incumbent Jew administration officially began to work on the 25th of October, 2022. And in accordance with the Constitution, my Stray Dog family, if we read section 32 of the Constitution, it speaks to a speaker, it relates to a speaker and deputy speaker. And Section 32, subsection 1, reads, and I quote, when the National Assembly first meets after any general election, and before it proceeds to the dispatch of any other business, it shall elect a person to be Speaker of the Assembly. And if the office of the Speaker falls vacant at any time before the next before the next dissolution, of Parliament, the Assembly shall, as soon as practicable, elect another person. So my Straight Talk family, this new Speaker was elected. And from the moment the elected Speaker, Lanine Blanchett, revealed that Curtis Wimpy Martin was a role model, I felt sorry for her. When I heard Speaker Blanchett said this, my heart pained.
I wish to make special mention of former Speaker of this Honourable House, the Honourable Curtis Martin. To thank him for his learned guidance and for answering his phone whenever I called for advice and/or clarification. I must note that Mr. Martin has the faith and patience of Job as described in the Bible. As I can assure you, I called him a number of times and he always answered.
And yes, my Straight Talk family, why would she choose to understudy someone like Curtis Wimpy Martin, who turned our Parliament into a useless instrument? And these are not my words, but the words of a former acting Chief Justice Brian Allen, who said this to the world, my Straight Talk family.
It's setting a very bad precedent for governance, and it's really making Parliament a useless instrument. I think that's terrible.
Terrible. But for the Speaker, Lanine Blanchett, to find her parliamentary groundings in a disgraced Speaker, Curtis Wimpy Martin, spoke volumes to many. Therefore, no surprise to me that for 3 years, the Parliament she supervised was being run like a bar shop. Who would believe that for 3 years, Speaker Lanine Blanchett never tabled the minutes of parliamentary meetings, and instead of humbling herself, she apportioned blame to her predecessors. My Straight Talk family, there can be no excuse for this display of gross incompetence by Speaker Lanine Blanchett. Parliament must maintain credibility as a branch of government to provide checks and balances, ensure that the executive is held accountable, and maintain public trust in democratic processes. So, Straight Talk advises the Speaker to bring this branch of government back to a level of credibility. A credible Parliament which is transparent and operates with high ethical standards, builds public trust, and reinforces the legitimacy of the democratic system. Speaker Blanchett made reference to the circulating of minutes 3 months in advance on the 6th of October. She said this.
For minutes confirmed on 6th October 2025, they were circulated by my office of the clerk electronically to all members of Parliament on the 11th of July 2025, 3 months in advance of the 6th October 2025 sitting.
And my Straight Talk family, this statement was so disingenuous as Speaker Blanchard failed to tell us that these were minutes from 3 years ago. As a matter of fact, they were minutes for meetings from October 2022 to December 2024. Minutes of these meetings from January to April 25 were tabled at the sitting of October 17. The said sitting, she made a statement.
Madam Speaker, with your indulgence, I'd like to move for the confirmation of the minutes for Thursday, January 30th, 2025, without amendments, any amendments made. Thursday, February 27th, 2025, Friday, March 21st, 2025, Thursday, April 17th, 2025, and Wednesday, April 30th, 2025.
Seconder, I recognize the Honorable Attorney General.
May it please you, Madam Speaker, I wish to second that motion.
The question is that the minutes circulated, particularly minutes for January 30th, 2025, February 27th, 2025, March 21st, 2025, April 17th, 2025, and April 30th, 2025 be confirmed. Those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? The ayes have it.
So even at October 17th, she's still not up to date. She's only brought minutes up to April 2025. Yet Speaker Blanchard lectures us about nation building and institutional strengthening. Could you imagine this, my Straight Dog family?
Honorable members, nation building and institutional strengthening take time. However, the progress made within the short period of October 2022 to present has been recognized both locally and internationally. The Parliament of St. Christopher and Nevis has been commended for its advancements, modernization, and the renewed culture of respect and decorum that now characterizes its proceedings. When I accepted this office, I did so with a full understanding that leadership would have its ebbs and flows. Nonetheless, I remain steadfast in my work and committed to the continued advancement and integrity of this Parliament.
And my Straight Dog family, I haven't seen Speaker Blanchard for some time, and I have no access to her. So I'll have to do this publicly and ask her to redeem herself. Redeem yourself, Lanny Blanchard. And from here on, do as you said. You said this.
Importantly, members of this honorable House, and as cliche as it may be, to whom much is given, much is expected. As parliamentarians, we each have very important roles in this honorable House to execute. To this end, I look forward to the said roles being discharged in a dignified and respectful manner. Finally, to the members of this honorable House, as well as the citizens of our beloved Federation, please be assured, I intend to be firm. I intend to be fair. I intend to be impartial, honest, and respectful at all times and to everyone.
And yes, Madam Speaker, try to be firm. Try to be fair. Try to be impartial, honest, and respectful to every member in the Parliament. But please as well, try to ensure that you be efficient at all times. And my Straight Dog family, the Parliament and the session started in October. And since that time, we are living in period of economic uncertainty, a time of economic uncertainty, poor governance, and lost confidence. The current Labour administration has been in office for going on or into its fourth year. And what do they have to show for it? Promises without performance, announcements without action, and a government that seems more concerned with luxury travel than the suffering of its citizens. We've heard they got at last some 5 new ambulances. We hope they are new. And there's a motorcade. Are they celebrating in advance of people who will be sick? No. That's not what the people want. We need a healthy people. So there'll be no need for ambulances. But we know of private jets, my Straight Dog family, taken by Prime Minister Terence Drew.
A pivotal moment in African-Caribbean economic relations unfolds here in Abuja as St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Terence Drew arrived for the African-Caribbean Investment Summit. His touchdown signaled more than just a diplomatic visit. With the stage set for high-stakes discussion, the expectation is high on how this summit will reshape the economic future of these two regions. Landry Babalola, AIT News, Abuja.
And that's how he travels, by private jet, my Straight Dog family. There's also information that came to Straight Talk, confirmed information, that airfare in the amount of $30,000 was paid for the senator from St. Paul's for her travel to Dubai. But there's no transparency about where our leaders are or what they're doing. They insult us by sending press releases like this. Obnoxious, I'm sure you'll find this. Prime Minister Drew away on official business. Deputy Prime Minister acting in his absence. And it reads, the Office of the Prime Minister advises that Prime Minister the Honorable Dr. Terence M. Drew has departed the Federation on official business today, October 23. During his absence, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, Deputy Prime Minister, will serve as acting Prime Minister. Prime Minister Drew is expected to return to the Federation shortly before the completion of his engagements. Don't say where he's going. Don't say when he's returning. And my Straight Dog family, I submit that when a government begins to operate behind closed doors, it does not signal strength. It signals fear. A prime minister who travels on official duty without disclosing the purpose, without disclosing the destination or duration of that trip, betrays the very principle of public accountability. Doesn't say where he's going. Doesn't say when he's returning. And that's, I submit, a betrayal of the very principle of public accountability. In a democracy, secrecy is not a right. It is a warning sign. The people have the right to know what their leaders are doing in their name, with their money, and on their time. Transparency is not optional. It is the foundation of trust. When leaders start moving in the shadows, that is not diplomacy. That is deception. And all this happens while the IMF Article 4 report of 2025 warns of continuing budget deficits and a fiscal imbalance. Our people are struggling with the rising costs of living and with no mitigating economic strategy for the Prime Minister. It is simply imported inflation. That's what it says. As if we must just accept the hardships. Our water crisis continues despite all this rainfall, showing a failure in planning and management. Remember, the Soka engineer told us this, my Straight Dog family.
He had to run in the shower before the water lock off. Why in 2022, in St. Kitts and Nevis, water still locking off? That shows a lack of vision, a lack of leadership when it comes to the public infrastructure in this country. And as the engineer in this team, I will see an end to that. That you can have dependable energy and water and utilities to your homes. So that you don't have to be running home to catch a bath. Or waking up a particular time in the morning to catch a fresh. We are past that. And we give our commitment to you to provide those services.
And my Straight Dog family, that was just talk. Because for some time they have not updated the schedules. And under the stewardship of the Soka engineer, the entire country is suffering. Update the water schedules, Soka engineer. Our energy, as well you speak about. Our energy sector is drained. Drained by the rental of 6 Agreco generators, costing taxpayers over $10 million US per year. While, my Straight Dog family, hear this, while the 36 megawatt solar farm project that could have transformed our energy future was abandoned, yet it was deemed a good project. Your special advisor, Prime Minister, said this.
It is a good project based on our own studies, calling in the expertise from right in the Caribbean to assess. It's a good project. Mm-hmm. They feel that it was properly assessed and the costing was within the range of what it would cost anyway to do that.
What about the housing project? Promise of 2,400 new homes that collapsed. Only 2 model homes were built before the contractor vanished with the mobilization funds. Yet, the slow student would like us to believe this, my Straight Dog family.
As you know, as a country, we engage the East Coast Housing Development in assisting us in delivering some homes. Unfortunately, the 600 homes that we were anticipating, with all of the challenges that we might have been experiencing, not us so much as a government, but the investor, that has caused some delays. These matters are being worked on, and what I said to the Federation is that based on the contractual arrangement that we would have signed, the AG office, of course, is working on ensuring that the government's interest, which it is protected. But because of the delay, we have not lost any money as a government.
And to this date, the AG has not picked his teeth. to use a colloquial slang, the disgraced AG Garth Lucifer Wilkin hasn't picked his teeth about that East Coast Housing Development Managing Director Brian Singh, who absconded after the government guaranteed a $10 million mobilization on behalf of the NHC. The much publicized plans for the new Barnsley High School, where have they gone? The airport expansion, the hospital construction, and the Ritz-Carlton Hotel remain nothing but pipe dreams by Stray Dog family. The Prime Minister lied about the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International expansion developments when asked the question.
Mr. Prime Minister, yes. Sean Dixon, St. Kitts Nevis Observer. The Caribbean Infrastructure Development Corporation is advertising as the approved public benefactor of the St. Kitts Airport expansion project. However, no official communication has been made to the public about this partnership. Could you clarify the nature of the relationship with the government and CIDC, and the total cost of the airport expansion, the value or percentage of shares offered under the CBI program, and how this arrangement differs from the prison project that you previously opposed?
Now, with respect to CIDC, CIDC has what you call just the planning stage of the airport. I think they got a very limited number of shares to do the plan and the structuring of the airport. In the airport is about 60-something shares. 60-something at this stage. 60-something. Just for the feasibility study and stuff. Nothing to do with the construction of the airport itself.
What a lie. 60-something shares. 60-something shares at $250,000. Isn't that $15 million US dollars for feasibility study? The Prime Minister lied about the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport expansion, but it has gone no place. Other projects as well have stalled.
So capital project, I will say, let me go through them for you, if you don't mind. Smart homes, on their way. Right? On the way. The hospital, on the way as well. The school, on the way as well. The solar plant or solar farm, on the way as well. There are some others I will mention, not yet, but they are definitely coming on the way. We have about 2 other major investments. One will be an agriculture major investment that will also come. We have an investment for the airport that is advancing significantly as well. I'm saying that when, in the next few months, I'm almost certain that we'll run out of construction workers here.
Run out of construction workers? He said the same thing about his Tabasco project that would need 600 workers.
Madam Speaker, we have calculated that every 10 acres will produce 30 jobs. So 100 acres will produce 300 jobs. And 200 acres will produce 600 jobs, Madam Speaker, for those who are in the agricultural field. We are going to mix it with other crops. What I'm simply saying here is that we're going back into large farm production of peppers and other crops so that it can add to our revenues and also help with our food security and also make sure that St. Kitts become a net exporter of certain crops instead of a net importer, Madam Speaker.
600 workers, where are they? And now, there's growing outrage over the so-called Destiny Project, which proposes to bring 10,000 settlers to St. Kitts or to Nevis, as a matter of fact. And we heard about the Whitegate Development Project, which can bring 250,000 settlers to St. Kitts. A move that could irreversibly change our culture, irreversibly change our society, and irreversibly change our identity. A friend and brother of mine, Sheldon Pemberton, I'm sure it's okay to call his name, did what he called an audit of the new pirates in the Caribbean under the caption, My Straight Dog Family. Under the caption, do bad governments have more influence than good people? An excerpt from Pemberton's article on Facebook reads, and I quote, and in St. Kitts and Nevis, the Special Sustainable Zones Act, the SSZ Act, sold as visionary policy for agricultural and economic rebirth, now flickers like a lighthouse without light. What was meant to guide the nation towards sustainability risks becoming another scheme for well-connected elites to seize land, power, and opportunity while branding it development. Pemberton also identified an identical pattern across the region where bad governments are expanding their power while good citizens retreat in silence. And this is so true. Meanwhile, my Straight Dog family, here in St. Kitts as well, the leader of the opposition, behaves like a government backbencher, my Straight Dog family. And this undermines the very foundation of our democracy. My Straight Dog family, my brothers and sisters, this is not the governance, beg your pardon, that Abraham Lincoln envisioned. This is not the leadership our nation deserves. There is a call for renewal. The people of St. Kitts and Nevis are speaking loudly and clearly. Right now, they are speaking loudly and clearly in Nevis. Across our villages, in our workplaces, on our streets, the cry is growing. We must change the change. We must reclaim our federation's promise and restore a government that serves the people and not themselves. There is a way forward, a vision for renewal and accountability. Every public dollar must be accounted for. All ministerial travel should be publicly disclosed. The destination, the purpose, and the cost. The days of secrecy must end. We need transparency and accountability. We must revisit and complete viable projects like the solar farm and reduce dependency on expensive generator rentals. Encourage investment and not waste. We need fiscal responsibility and economic growth. We must prioritize projects that strengthen our national resilience, roads, water, systems, and energy security. We need infrastructure and resilience. Complete what has been started and plan for what is needed. Revive housing programs with proper oversight. Expand education, healthcare, and social safety nets that empower citizens and not create dependency. That is what we call social development. Halt. I say halt any project that threatens our demographic balance or cultural identity, like the Destiny Project in Nevis. Citizenship programs must be transparent and sustainable, not a tool for political or private gain. We need cultural preservation and citizenship policy. We must strengthen parliamentary oversight, restore respect for opposition voices and independent institutions. Democracy must never be a convenience. It is a covenant with the people. We need good governance and democratic renewal. And in closing, my Straight Dog family, in conclusion, my fellow citizens, history teaches us that nations rise or fall based on the quality of their governance. We have seen the difference a good government makes, how it builds, unites, and uplifts. The Team Unity administration did that. Now, we must stand together once again to restore that spirit of good governance. We must chart a new course grounded in integrity, vision, and service. Let us renew our faith in St. Kitts and Nevis. Let us build a nation that our children will be proud of to inherit. Because when we govern well, when we serve with honesty, competence, and compassion, our people prosper. And then we can once again say with pride what a big difference a good government makes. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Dog family, and I am not going to change it. I will open the line at this time and entertain your calls and your emails. And I will do so momentarily. And when I do so, I anticipate that we will respect others. And to achieve that, we must first respect ourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. And my Straight Dog family, let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. And in the process of saying and doing those things, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. At 12 past the 9 o'clock hour, I go to the lines and say good night to my first caller. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Liber.
Good night, my dear.
Good government only happens when the people working in it
when the people working in it
do their jobs and do them well.
Do their jobs and do them well.
I repeat, good government only happens when the people working in it do their jobs and do them well. Have a great evening.
Have a great evening, my dear. That's normal. My normal first caller, who always provides that quotation, always simulating, and this one no different. Good government only happens when the people work in it, do their jobs, and do them well. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk.
Hello. Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. How are you, my brother?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself?
You sound peaceful, really. You sound peaceful. Mr. Straight Talk, how is everything in St. Kitts? I just leave there, but think it's not go right. I don't know. Because I give you a job for you to do for me concerning the Tabasco pepper, and I don't hear nothing else what happened if they don't take 2 years to reap. Anyway, let me get back to this. I'll be right back with you. Let me just say good evening to my wonderful people around. So give me a couple seconds there, my lovely niece there in St. Louis. And our Texas Queen, my brother Alvin and his son, the George Reed, and my brother Ellis from another mother, Abigail, and Mrs. Lloyda and Kenzie. You guys have a wonderful night. Mr. Straight Talk, I hope Janice, what's her name? Janice Daniel Hodge?
Yes.
But how could she sitting down so quietly? Another thing, Mr. Straight Talk, I ain't hear the Premier says that Nevis, the government gonna get benefit from this thing, no? He only saying that these people are going to be responsible for everything. So it means they're not going to pay the taxes. Are you hearing me, Mr. Strater?
Yes, I'm here. Trying to shape have a response. I'm sorry. I was here trying to establish whether it's a rhetorical question or I needed to respond, but you can never believe anything that Mark Brantley says. He's been caught with his pants down, as we say in colloquial parlance, trying to sneak.
All I know, see?
Go ahead. Trying to sneak these people upon us. 10,000 citizens. I mean, how are they going to? We haven't heard what is the cost of the project, number one. Where the money is going to come from. And we've been saying all the time that Oliver Johnson is a billionaire, but he's not. I have to correct that. He's not a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire. No, not a billionaire for certain.
So he gonna borrow the money again, like what happened in St. Kitts then?
Well, I suspect it's a citizenship by investment program, but they're not telling us. All Mark Brantley said they're gonna pay CBI fees. And who wants to become a citizen can become one, but it doesn't work that way. The legislation doesn't speak to that method of citizenship. But
I don't know, Mr. Strater, but something is terrible because you see what he did? He put his wife between there. As he said, she's a go-between. Understand? Yes. So anything coming from she gonna run over to he. Because she's in, mind you, he could have get somebody else, but he said, no, my wife is a go-between. So whatever my wife get, I am going to also receive it in my share. But like I tell you, the snake coming with his 9 eggs for penny, and not even 1 out of 9 going to be good now. If the people of Nevis don't rise up. And you hear what Senior Douglas comes saying? That white, and this is the thing that I wouldn't, I dare want somebody to explain to me. How they let these things happen, I don't know. But you see, these people they just vote because you see, they don't want nobody else in government but Labour. They don't care whether you give them Wilkes and no breadfruit. They just want Wilkes. And they're going to stick with Wilkes until they die. These people don't recognize what's going on with them. But that's who they are. So my family, everything who just decide, well, look, this is where we must go. Because somebody tell me a couple of my family are strong Labour. But what can I say? You just got to do what you got to do. Mr. Strater, listen, see, Janice Hodge and Timothy got to use the media that we have there. They could come on your show and explain what's going on. Pull a march, do something. You go wait until this thing go gone and then you can't do nothing? I don't know. Mr. Strater, I think I said enough. But I still want you to do your homework on the Tabasco pepper seed.
I thought I did, but I'll check it out for you. The seeds haven't.
Because he keeps saying all these things were supposed to come, and he's going to hire all these people with the Tabasco. Now he gone to Africa to do another project. So what the project is saying is now with the African.
They have nothing to deliver. Absolutely nothing.
I don't know.
Not even the basketball school will be delivered. Not even.
I don't know, Mr. Straight Talk. I thank God for you, because if you wasn't sounding that alarm, boy, too many things would have been gone underneath the rug. And they must sweep it under still. But because of you, dear, you have pulled a lot of people are listening to you. Somebody just sent me a thing there on my phone. I don't know who do it, but you in ZIZ in 2020. And I don't know who sent that thing to me. We have you in ZIZ studio with all these equipment around you. Whosoever do it, I just thank them so much, because I have something there for you back in 2020, you in ZIZ studio. And they just snap a picture and send it to me. I don't know who do it, but I thank them so much.
Yes.
So it shows that people have got things with you out there.
Yeah,
So whoever that someone is, thank you.
They kick me out.
Giving me my brother in ZIZ studio. So Mr. Sweetheart, you do good things. Just continue to fight. That's all I'm going to say. I said enough. Thank you, my brother. Abracadabra. Detour. See you when I see you.
See you when I see you, my brother. That's my brother from another mother over there in Pennsylvania, is it? Yes. Milo Box. Read this email. Don't try that deception with us, please. I read your post in respect of the scary land issue in Nevis. And I know you have a blind respect for the Premier and will endorse every evil he does because of the so-called friendship between you both. During the last election, he appeared and spoke on your campaign platform in West Bastia, pretending that he was supportive of you and Pam, albeit you were unable to discern that he was working with Labour and at the same time undermining Pam with full intention to dismantle team unity, and he succeeded. You saw this bare-faced hypocrisy with Labour, and at the same time you saw this bare-faced hypocrisy, beg your pardon, when he joined forces with Labour after the election and ensured he arrogated unto himself the opposition leadership, purposely denying Sean and Pam that privileged position. That is what you should be talking about, Milo, if you are a real Pam. Instead of you defending the Premier on the land issue in Nevis, just to maintain your so-called friendship, shame on you, Milo Box reads this email. I haven't heard that or seen that comment. Sean, you let me down, bad man, reads this other email. Why you had to call Dwyer to correct him, to tell him you went to Parliament during the SSZ debate, but you did not speak on the bill. Now look how Dwyer turned it round and pepper you behind. Oh, how Dwyer praise you. Sean is a bright man. He's experienced, well-educated. He's the most experienced legislator in the House after Douglas and Harris. With those comfortable words, you felt good. But he went on to say many disgraceful things about you as a parliamentarian and concluded that you were unfit to be in the House if you attend and say nothing. No, Dwyer, I wasn't absent like Harris. What were you trying to prove, a score over Harris? Well, you're dead wrong, because according to him, it was better for Harris not to attend and worse for you attending and had nothing to say. Well, Harris again reads this email. Madam Speaker, do you realize that you're dropping words on your mentor, the former wimpy Speaker, Douglas, and the entire Labour cabinet, in keeping the Parliament and your office in such an embarrassing and deplorable state that you now complain about, and giving the false impression that it was Harris who kept the Parliament in that horrible state you're now finding fault with? That was for the same reason the former Chief Justice characterized the Parliament as useless instrument during the no confidence motion under Douglas. Therefore, blame Douglas Labour government for all the ills in the House that you complain about. 20 years, Douglas operated a disorganized House. And don't forget, he defiled the Constitution and ran the House for 5 years without a deputy speaker. Know your place with Harris. His hands are clean. Reads this other email. Mr. Dwyer, your relentless, bitter, and personal attack on our third Prime Minister, Timothy Harris, is uncalled for. Seemingly, Harris has left you at the foot of the cross because what you are saying does not make sense. For instance, you emphatically referred to him as Lockdown Harris, but overlooking the inescapable fact that his lockdown saved the lives of innumerable citizens in the Federation during the pandemic, including yours, Mr. Dwyer. Haven't you ever stopped to consider that? Moreover, Harris didn't act like a dictator. He relied on the scientific, medical staff headed by expert doctors Wilkinson and Laws, respectively. Also, Mr. Samuel at Nima, the police commissioner, etc. They all gave him sound advice, and after hours of soul searching, I opined he acted on their instructions. What is so wrong with that, Dwyer, unless you were hoping that more people should have died in COVID to satisfy your desire? You went on to say that Harris seemed to have an allergy for the opposition benches. This statement is ridiculous and very unfortunate that I wouldn't even comment on it. What I am asking you now, Dwyer, only Harris you have strength for? Why don't you pay attention to Edinburgh? Every Sunday afternoon here on radio cursing you, and you're quiet like a mouse. You dare not answer him. And many believe that the Prime Minister is behind him. After all, he's the chief advisor to the Prime Minister. And he relishes the bad things his chief advisor are saying about you. Reads this other email. Well, okay, I've got my emails down. It's 9:26. My Straight Dog family, the lines are open. We're entertaining your calls. And if you just join us, we are looking at our thesis tonight, which I have titled, What a Big Difference a Good Government Makes. And in my introductory portion of this thesis, I made mention of former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. I made mention that we now stand at this critical juncture in our Federation's journey. And I thought these words, this quotation by Lincoln, which goes like this, and I quote, "The legitimate object of government is to do for a community of people whatever they need to have done, but cannot do at all, or cannot so well do for themselves in their separate and individual capacities." And those words ring true today. Because when we reflect on our recent past, when we reflect on the years of the Team Unity administration, it is crystal clear to most objective minds what a big difference a good government makes. And a good government is one that is accountable. A good government is one that is transparent. A good government is one that is responsive And a good government is one that ensures the rule of law. A good government ensures fair participation and effective and efficient use of resources. Can we say that about the incumbent administration we have? Hell no. Because the key characteristics of a good government includes eliminating corruption and respecting minority views. Caller, you're live.
Hi, a pleasant evening.
Pleasant evening, my dear.
How are you doing, sir?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I am wonderful. Mr. Patches, I was just listening to Mark Bradley. He has a town hall meeting right now in Nevis.
Yes.
And it's very sad that Mark Bradley is not listening to his people. It's sad. Mark Bradley asked the question, how much persons want this SSU project start? The entire congregation said no. Mark Bradley get up and say, you are only speaking for yourself. You're not speaking for those who are not here. You're not speaking for the entire Nevis. I was like, really, Mark Bradley? You see the whole crowd say no. Why sit down and investigate if others want the project? It is that simple. You hear the majority of your persons, your citizens, making noise about the project. Try to stop it. For example, I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that if the government stops the project, there's a fine. There's like $23 million fine if they stop it. And if the investor does not complete it, there are, I think it's some $30 million or $1 billion. So I don't know if that is the reason why Mark does not want to stop the project. But he could find ways to get investment in Nevis. Not having 10,000 persons come to Nevis to take back over Nevis in our old time days of 1463 and all those time, Christopher Columbus and all those people when we were slaves. He come like he want Nevis go back to those days, and it is very heartbreaking.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I am not as intelligent as Mark, but I know if my people making noise, talk to my people, find out what my people want. I think you need to talk to him. Maybe he might listen to you because Mark not listening to his people. I was born in Nevis. My grandmother has a piece of land right by the project, Honorable Patches. She just live on the land is on the other side of the road. And I used to play down in that area, run sheep and goat in that area, sit down, eat my skinny in that area. It is a very nice area and full of wind. So I don't see why Mark wants to give this to investors. Put in the infrastructure for the people to build their houses down there. That's all down there want. I used to play down there when I was a kid. I love the area. My grandmother has a piece of land right to the top. And even if the Mark had come to me and said he wants it, then they ain't going to get it. I would have tell them, no, I'm mine. We need to stand up to Mark Bradley.
But can I say something to you though, right?
Sure, sir.
You may be smarter than Mark, you know. You shouldn't put yourself down like that. Not to say that Mark is smarter than you, right? Because his performance as the leader, you may very well be smarter than him. And I'm serious.
But another fact is that it's common sense. If you hear 25 persons making noise about a project, go in your community and listen to them.
Yes, yes.
They voted for you. You can't vote for yourself.
Yes, yes. You're so right. You're so right.
Right. You can't put yourself. No, you yourself can't put yourself as an elected member. If the people vote for you, you have to listen to the people that vote for you.
True. True.
Right. And next comment, Patches. I went down by the the Fort Thomas down there, and I was very sad because I saw lots of Indians working down there, and I didn't even see one local person when I went down there. And I was saying to myself, that's also an next reason why the economy is so tight. If the government gave this Indian this project to do, as a government minister, you don't have the money to finance the project. So the Indians then financing it themselves. He should have negotiate. The prime minister should have negotiate. If you're bringing in 200 workers, at least 100 has to be the local man. Yep. I find that would have been fair. At least all that money wouldn't have gone back out to the economy. At least some of it would have stayed here in St. Kitts.
You see why I said you're smarter than Mark? I mean, that's sound reasoning, you know?
Yes. Yeah. At least some of the money would have stayed in St. Kitts.
Yes.
You know, by the time they're going to go buy a one beer, they're going to give two of the girlfriends some. So it's a trickle down effect. Some of the money would have stayed in St. Kitts and not go right back out of St. Kitts with all these Indians here. I was like, I know the government broke. They can't finance the project. They bring in an Indian with the money. At least they should negotiate. Half of the workers have to be local to get some money back in the economy. A load of Indian I see down there. Not one local person I saw down there.
They seem to be living
all
there
Indians
too.
I saw.
They seem to be living in the property. I've seen all these clothes hanging out on the banisters. Someone is living there too. Living and working.
Possibility. But I was very disappointed not to see any of our locals down there. Very disappointed.
Yes.
That is why the economy is so tight. You can't let all these money go out of the economy. You got to find ways to keep some back home.
Certainly, my dear. Certainly.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Pastries.
Thank you very much for your sound contribution, your sound intervention, you know.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. You know, you gotta be smarter than Mark Bradley. Don't put yourself down. Never compare yourself anyway. But my Straight Talk family, we are living in a time of economic uncertainty. We are living in a time of poor governance, and everyone has lost confidence in Drew and his backbencher, Mark Brantley. The current Labour administration has been in office over 3 years. And what do we have to show for it? Promises. On the way. Caller, thank you for holding your line.
Yes, Mr. Patel.
How is the Bible man tonight?
Well, the Bible man is here. Mr. Patel, good night.
Good night, sir.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. What about yourself?
I'm wonderful. I was on my landing this tonight. And all the thought come to me. God is in control.
All the time.
That is, nobody who trusts in the Lord. Hear what the word of God said about chapter 3. It says, in all thy ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy pathway. That's it. You know Psalm 75 said, Mr. Patel?
If I know it.
Preparation, promotion come up neither from the east,
nor the west, nor the south.
The good.
Mm-hmm.
You know why, Mr. Patel? God
Judged.
set up kings And God put kings there to look after the lesser one.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to say something tonight, Mr. Patrick. People must know there is a God and He look after people. You hear what He say in Psalm 41? Blessed is the man that considereth the poor in the time of trouble. The Lord shall deliver you. Mr. Patrick, do you know when God help a man to get a car, the car no belongs to him only, you know? Because the Lord tell, yeah. Here the Lord tell Cain. When Cain killed his brother Abel, and God asked Cain, where is your brother? Cain bust back round. Am I my brother's keeper? Mr. Patrick, in this world that we are living, in Saint Kitts that we are living, God put us here to help everybody. God give you and God supply the need. If your brother ain't got, you're supposed to help your brother. And so, the time is coming, Mr. Patrick, that all of us, we got answer to God. Because He can tell you, I was hungry and you not feed me. I was naked and you not clothe me. And then you can say, when we hungry, Lord, He said, much as they do it and to the least, my brethren, you do it unto me.
Thank you very much.
And I am saying tonight, beloved, who are listening to me, put your confidence in God and God alone. He is going to see you through, Mr. Patrick. God had to get a voice, you know, Mr. Patrick. You know you ain't got straight talk therefore. Son, you got straight talk for the voice to go out. To be the voice of somebody getting out, somebody who going to the hard crack. You are there. Your voice is going out. Brethren, God is going to say, brethren, God said, but my God shall supply your need according to His riches in glory to Christ Jesus. That is, it is a good thing to give thanks unto the Lord. And every single day, man supposed to praise the Lord.
Okay,
give thanks. That is, have a pleasant night to it.
Have a pleasant night as well. He didn't give me the scriptures, he gave me a little sonnet. The Bible man, but sometimes we accept that. That's fine, we have our own way. But we've been talking about the difference, the big difference it makes when we have a good government. Because we have an administration that all they told us, it's every project is underway. And people are saying that they're hoping, rather, that elections will soon be underway. Because we have promises without performance, announcements without actions, and a government that seems more concerned with travel, luxury travel, than the suffering of its people. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good evening, Mr. Liber. Good evening. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I'm here giving God thanks, listening to you, wondering if I'm going to get in early, but I'm getting early.
You did?
Yeah.
You know the difference between a good government?
A good government?
You know what the difference a good government makes? A big difference?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah?
A good government.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
A good government look about poor people.
Yes.
Because remember, Mr. Liber, you cannot go inside there by yourself.
True.
Poor people have to put you there. So you're supposed to be poor people, right?
And the poor in the majority, right?
That's right.
Yes.
You see, I just listen to you here and say election is just around the corner. I hope it's this year.
I hope it's on the way, yes.
I hope it's this year, not next year, because we cannot go through labor. Labor is a big problem right now. A serious problem in this country.
Well, you believe everybody's prepared for this year?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so. But at the same time we're speaking about election, we have to pray for Jamaica.
Oh, yes.
You know? Yes, we have to pray for Jamaica because in a serious condition down there. And the next thing against Mr. Liber, I listened to the town hall meeting that they had there last week. And Jeffrey speaking and saying his government done a lot since the India. We are. And when nothing shall go so. Nothing they has done, nothing they has do. Nothing they has done, nothing they has do. The Bastia High School is anywhere, it cannot come yet. The hospital is not anywhere yet. Why you do not pick up J.N. Farms Hospital? And that will be a decent hospital when he done. Do he tell the people of this country? He built in a hospital in St. Vincent, American hospital. This is where people money going down there. That is where people money going down there to build. He medical hospital. That when he lose in the backside, he anyway go down there, go walk and get big money. Whoever Dr. S want to hire, he place. Down there where people money going. Don't look out for you to pay a double salary this year, because since he done in India, he ain't pay none, you know. He ain't pay none. And if Timothy was in there, Timothy pay poor on the street. Even we had the pandemic, he still used to look about us. Mr. Harris, if you're listening to me tonight, you play the ball cool because you're going back in there. Everybody wants you. And you're going back in there, you're God's child, you are blessed. So if you're listening to me tonight, you're going back right inside there. Because Harris again. And he's going to come back stronger and bigger. With a strong force this time. We all love him, Mr. Loybord. We all love him. And who God bless, no man curse.
Okay.
He pointed, thing where he building down Trinidad down there, St. Vincent, wherever he was from. He ain't gonna come out and tell people in thinking what he doing. He got everybody blind. Everybody got blind eyes. So down there's where people tax money going. And when you talk about the money in the country, shame. Shame at him. That is why he will want to go and talk about. He wants to be Prime Minister. He cannot run the country. He cannot run the country. He don't know what he's doing. He only come at them. They don't know what they're doing. They're doing a lot of nonsense.
Okay.
Once again, when they bring in the food stuff, them, they lash people so hard. And the food stuff when they bring in. The Prime Minister supposed to be able to say something. And the voice control in this country. Huh? Poor people fed up. Poor people can take labor problem no more. None they do, none they don't. They not do nothing. They just have to pack up and pull up the backside with people tax money.
Okay, my dear. Okay, I've got you loud and clear. I got you loud and
And the
clear.
next thing, Mr. Lloyd, and next thing again, you know.
Yep.
And next thing again, tell the police they will knock down my brother child, they kill my brother child. And the commissioner, we taking it easy and cool and calm. We not say nothing. We ain't saying nothing. We just taking it easy and cool. Because when calm already, that's gonna be. You have a wonderful night. Safe.
Have a wonderful night as well. Always so passionate with your contributions. I know her as like one's aunt. Patches, you expect the man to pick his teeth about the money when the man's wife, family in Trinidad, living off the money. Read this email that's perhaps in reference to a comment I made about the East Coast housing development. And yes, there's a town hall in Nevis that lady made reference to, and I'll be forced to listen to it, obviously, so I can get first-hand information. But truth be told, I anticipate what Brantley would say. How he would explain Mama Brantley's role is another question. But the fact is, he is desperate. Very, very desperate. And the fact is as well that we are we have not heard what is the cost of the project. We know some deposits are being made on land with a promise to pay or settle within, in some cases, 12 months, in some cases, 18 months. We know that Brantley had to be working on this project over the last 5 years. As my Straight Talk family, we very well believe that Johnson is anticipating that the project will be financed through CBI. So are we going to finance our slave master with our own assets is a question we ask. We know as well that Mama Brantley is crawling. She had to crawl to get between Oliver Johnson and the landowners. Mark said this. She is the go-between.
My question is the basically, what should I call it? A list or whatever there is, a client relationship list between the developer and any firm to remove any perception of bias.
So you want a list of what? Because the developer is a company, as I believe it's called South Nevis Limited, and that company is working with my wife and others who are reaching out to people and asking people if they're minded to sell their land.
Okay.
So who do you want to see on that list?
Okay. So just trying to confirm. I don't want to misunderstand what you just stated. You just stated that your wife's real estate company is working with the developer to have the land sold or whatever it is in that area?
To reach out to landowners, bearing in mind, as I said, that the lands over there are private, and to ask them if they're minded to sell their land. So she's acting as a go-between between her client, who's the developer, and landowners, and asking if they're minded to sell their land.
Okay. So you see, that's the go-between explained, my straight dog family. But it's 6 before the 10 o'clock hour. Perhaps go just a little over 10 o'clock since I, in fact, started in a little tardy way, and I really must apologize. I don't know what's happening these recent times. But as I said, promises without performance, announcement without action. That's, in short, the government that we have in office. A prime minister who travels on private jet, a minister of government, not even elected, a senator, and the state has to pay $30,000 for a ticket to travel first class to Dubai. We have a government with no transparency about where our leaders are or what they're doing. And one of their very own, my straight dog family, released this Facebook message which summed it up well in terms of the performance of this administration. Larry Vaughan spoke about faith, and Larry Vaughan posted this, my straight dog family. It's good reading. Trust me. I trust you can see the print. Larry Vaughan said, and I can help you, or we can read it together. Whoever compiled the list of accomplishments is a child of faith. And we know that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. Faith in the spiritual realm is a virtue. Speaking with this type, faith in politics is delusional at best and dishonest and disheartening at worst. For it is wrong to bring the Pauline admonition which says, speak those things that aren't as though they are, into the political realm. It was our friend Monkey who wisely cautioned, what in your jawbone, nor your own. It appears, Larry continues, while the MRI equipment are still coming, the new JNF hospital can be considered as here already, or is it coming? If they are still to come, then we cannot consider them as accomplishments. I look to Nevis for my case in point. Dialysis machines were bought. They landed on the island more than a decade ago. They were never installed. They were only in the jawbone. Added to that, a hospital wing in Charlestown is unfinished. It is painted and yet without patients. I would not encourage the NIA to claim it as an accomplishment. It is therefore unwise to speak to delivering a new hospital that may or may not be on the way. There is no coming dangling behind the state-of-the-art Bassey High School. I take that to mean it has been delivered. We all know that it is not so. I urge that the leaders and publicists refrain from pressing themselves as desperate acknowledgements. The same can be said of the desalination plants which are still to come online. One local calypsonian wrote a piece called Finish the Song. I'd advise the administration to do the same. Finish the songs you want to sing to us, because at present a number of them have no tune or timing. Very interesting post from Larry O. Vaughan. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, Patches. Good evening to you, Patches, man, and the people listening home and abroad.
Good evening, my brother. How art thou?
Yes, yeah, pretty good. Sorry to break in so late tonight, but I just wanted to bring a bit of information to the public. There has been the town hall meeting on the Nevis end tonight, and it's still ongoing. And I just wanted to put it to the people who are listening that they can go on Facebook. The live feed is there. And after the event is over, they can still go back and check on Facebook. It was brought to the people there was a live feed in the meeting tonight from Real Entertainment Network. And the guy, Alan Powell, was on there as a narrator tonight. So anyone who's interested to see what transpired at that so critical meeting tonight about the Destiny Project coming to Nevis, they can get on Facebook and apparently possibly YouTube and check out the Real Entertainment Network. That was narrated there tonight by Alan Powell. So I want to thank all the people of Nevis and St. Kitts, whoever came over tonight that showed up at that meeting, and we keep agitating against that project. Thanks, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you very much. Wish I could have said that was a paid advertisement. But thank you for your information, my Straight Dog family. And it's 1 minute after 10 o'clock. I will probably entertain maybe one or two calls. But we have a government as well, my Straight Dog family, that operates in the dark. Some would say an opaque government. But when a government begins to operate behind closed doors, that does not signal strength. In fact, it signals fear. And the Prime Minister who travels on official duty without disclosing the purpose, without disclosing the destination, without disclosing the duration of that trip, betrays the very principle of public accountability. And that's what I submit when we saw this release from the Prime Minister. In a democracy, secrecy is not a right. It is a warning sign. The people have the right to know what their leaders are doing in their name, with their money, and on our time. Transparency is not optional, my Straight Dog family. It is the foundation of trust. When leaders start moving in the shadows, that is not diplomacy. That is downright deception. Our people are struggling with the rising cost of living. And the Prime Minister has no mitigating economic strategy. Our water crisis continues despite rainfall. That demonstrates a failure in planning and management. But we have a so-called engineer. Our energy sector for which he has oversight, is drained by the rental of 6 Agreco generators, costing taxpayers over $10 million per year. While this 36 megawatt solar farm project that could have transformed our energy future, that is, was abandoned. This is a good project. The housing promise of 2,400 new homes collapsed, and no explanation coming from the slow student or from the Prime Minister or from the Attorney General, beg your pardon, as he promised. Not one word about that housing project that should have delivered 2,400 homes. Where is it gone? Where, my Straight Dog family? We have a speaker in the legislative branch who delivers minutes after 3 years and comes and tells us this.
For minutes confirmed on 6th October 2025, they were circulated by my office of the clerk electronically to all members of Parliament on the 11th of July 2025, 3 months in advance of the 6th October 2025 sitting.
And these were minutes, my Straight Dog family. 3 months? These were minutes from 3 years ago, from October 22 to 24, or this to December 2024. But yes, my Straight Dog family, we have a minister, a slow student, who tells us this about the housing project.
Not spend a cent to East Coast. We did not spend 1 cent to East Coast. I must bring that to our attention.
Well, in time we will know. The much publicized plans for the new Basti High School, my Straight Dog family. That too has been shelved. The airport expansion, my Straight Dog family. But let's go to the lines and say good night to this caller. Caller, you're live.
Thank you for allowing me, Brother Patches. Good night to all the listeners. This is the voice of Winston Welcome. I own every comment that echoed from my tongue. I decided that I would have turned it down tonight, contemplating the result of this town hall meeting. So I can't make any prospective because I haven't got any observation, but I'm waiting until further notice. Regardless if I have anything to say, I know I have my people out there like to my commentary on such incidents, should it be. But I am at ease until further information develop. So, my people, good night. I rest to assure you that this SSG zone will never come to fruition. And of the next upcoming election, this heinous, wicked CCM leaders, they have violated and hauled down the true meaning of concerned citizen movement. So until, just sit back and relax. God is in the driver's seat. Nothing will happen. Thank you for hearing me, my people. Fret not thyself. Bye for now.
Thank you very much. Yes, fret not thyself of evildoers. But as I conclude tonight's programming, my Straight Dog family, I return to our quotation for the night, normally provided by an ardent listener each time we have a program. Good government only happens when the people work in it, do their jobs, and do them well. So in conclusion, my Straight Talk family, my fellow citizens, history has taught us that nations rise or fall based on the quality of their governance. We have seen the difference a good government makes, how it builds, unites, and uplifts. Now we must stand together once again to restore the spirit of good governance. We must chart a new course grounded in integrity, vision, and service. Let us renew our faith in St. Kitts and Nevis, our federation. Let us build a nation that our children will be proud to inherit. My Straight Talk family, if we do that, and we govern well, when we serve with honesty, competence, and compassion, our people will prosper. And then, and only then, we can once again say with pride what a big difference a good government makes. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank Almighty God for guiding our conversation tonight, as always. I want to thank you, the many listeners, those who sent emails, those who called, the viewers. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liber, and God's Spirit, we will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until we connect, I urge you to be good with yourselves, be good to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, we got to believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday.
The morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow, down on my knees. The Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep, and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, Lord protects me with his love. Strong, pure and true, and so sincere. 'Cause my knees I'll always stay to the Lord in prayer. So whatever my mind conceive, that I will achieve, you better believe. Because I do the things I should, be to my brethren